Although Alzheimer's trials are some of our least diverse, right? They're 95% white. They exclude people with cardiovascular disease, without dedicated care workers. So it really is a rarefied Alzheimer's patient that qualifies for an Alzheimer's trial. For CMS now to say, when we have decades of clinical trials that were not representative, that because this wasn't representative, it doesn't reflect the Medicare beneficiary pool, is a somewhat interesting logic.
This is a reflection of one of several really important strategic themes at CMS right now that everybody should be aware of. And this, I want to talk about two. One of them is equity. The leadership at HHS, the leadership at CMS, Chiquita Brix-LaSure has said, we are going to make our programs more equitable. And that has implications for what kinds of new initiatives CMS is undertaking around coverage, around access to treatments. It also has potentially some implications around what kind of evidence CMS is going to try to advance. They really would like to support better ways of developing evidence on Medicare's increasingly diverse population. But to your point, clearly there's not an easy path to do that with our traditional clinical trial system, and the proposal that CMS put out around, well, we'll fund randomized clinical trials that reflect the diversity of the US population is going to take a long time to implement. The one time CMS, and I was there, so I remember this, tried to implement a coverage with evidence requiring randomized clinical trials, we didn't get any randomized clinical trials in that met that approach. So here is a great opportunity for trying to meet CMS where they are with the goal as opposed to the means. And again, there are a lot of approaches to build off registries, including registries in the space like the Alzheimer's Association registry, to learn more about more diverse populations. I just think, Michelle, it's going to be easier to do when there is more compelling evidence, which we should have one way or the other, on products in this, the new products in this class within the next year. So I think seeing how those products work out to show that there's no reason to think that these products would be less effective just because you're black or just because you're brown. There's every reason to think, though, that we need to learn more about different subgroups, and every reason to think that with planning ahead, which I hope could start happening right away, we can get those questions answered, not through randomized controlled trials, but through the increasingly robust real-world evidence systems that could augment a broader coverage for a treatment that does work.